About a week ago, I made a video on a little flashcard app to turn a Google Sheet into a set of flashcards in a matter of minutes. And if you watched it, you probably heard that I was kind of lamenting that there were a couple features on there or one feature in particular that I didn't have, and I was kind of bummed about it. But I had actually reached out to the developer and asked him if it was possible if he could add that feature. Well, within a day or two, he wrote me back and said, okay, I made the changes, check this out. And I was very ecstatic. And yesterday when I was practicing and I was like, oh, okay, I have a word list of 1,700 words, and I don't want to be clicking, 1,000 times just to get to word number 1,000 on the list. So I asked him if he would make a feature where it would jump to a certain line in my document or in my sheet. And so last night I got an email and he said, "You're a slave driver," and said, "Check out the new feature and tell me what you think." So I'm ecstatic that he actually did that for me. And so I'm going to make this new video to kind of reflect some of the changes because they're not really explained. So here we go. The program that I'm referring to is called FLIPPITY.net, and it easily turns a Google spreadsheet into a set of flashcard or other really cool stuff, which I'm not going to go over on this, but you can certainly explore it if you would like to. So the first thing, this is the one I'm going to focus on. The first thing you want to do is hit instructions. And then this is all instructions. So I would just say hit this template because I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to make a copy. And some of this might take some time, but thank goodness right now my computer's running very quickly. So here we are. It's a copy, so it's going to actually copy into your Google Drive. So you can change the name of it to your own flashcards if you want, and that way you make it once, you don't ever have to do it again. And the nice thing is you can even add to your list or make changes. Say you wrote something wrong or you decided you didn't want to write the brief that way, you can make those changes. And it might take a few minutes to reflect those changes, but they will be made. You may even have to reload your cards, but I'll show you all how to do that. So the next thing I want to tell you is do not mess with rows 1 and 2. It'll mess up everything, but have no fear. If you do mess it up, you can always just reload a copy of FLIPPITY.net flashcards and start over. So I actually have a running word list here that I do not make change or that I can add to. I don't, but I have it in case I mess up and I want to restart my flashcard list over again. So the second line is audio. It's kind of self-explanatory. When you get into the flashcards, you can let the AI read them. This is going to be my column for my briefs. So I would normally choose audio none right here, but just for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going to leave it to English. And they even have English UK if you want a cool accent. So now it brings me to this point. I want to add my words. So I'm going to go to my word list and I am going to highlight a few. That should probably be enough right there. Hit Control C. Oops. Let me start over. Okay. Control C. There we go. Now it's copied onto my clipboard. I'm going to go back to my copy and I'm going to highlight rows 3 and oops, let me get out of that. I'm going to go highlight. Why does it not want to? It just really wants me to choose there we go. It really wants me to choose. Okay, I'm going to just side 1 and 2, just highlight a few and Control V, and they are now in here. Now you'll notice here the card colors. You can change the colors of the card. You can change the color of the text if you don't want black and white. I'm going to erase a few of these just for fun. And now I want to make sure that it is done saving before. There we go, save to drive before I do this next feature. I'm going to hit File, Share, Publish to Web. Before I hit that Publish button, I want to hit this little arrow down here. And let's see if it's going to let me. There we go. Make sure there's a check in this green box here, automatically republish when changes are made. And all that does is it makes sure that if you add words or if you change spellings or whatever, it's going to automatically republish it, all those changes. So I'm going to hit publish, I'm going to hit OK. And now this document is published to the web, and I'm going to exit out of it. The next thing I want to do is I want to hit get the link here. And here we are. If I hover over this, it's going to show the web link. So I'm going to click on that, and voila, I have my cards. So these are up here just very quickly. You can see the list of your words, and it'll even show you like the colors of the cards they're going to be on, and you can print the list, whatever. You can match it. I honestly don't see the need to use this, but if you want to play a matching game for fun, go for it. You can actually practice by like typing in. So if I just type something and I hit, the next one, it's going to show me it's wrong, right? And it's going to keep track up here. Protest, you can, oops. Okay, I got it right, so it'll keep track of that. So that's what that practice. If you want to type it in there, you can. More is going to connect you to all those other games and stuff on there if you want to use them, but I don't. Here we are with this word, and so I'm going to show you here. If I click on this, it's going to start reading the words to me.
Examine.
And if I flip the card, if I come down here and I flip the card over, it's going to spell it because it doesn't look like.
Examine. SKPM.
Because it doesn't look like a word.
Protest. Pro-S.
So if it looks like it can kind of read it, it will
Protest.
try.
Pro-S. Domestic. DMEFK. DOEMT.
So obviously it couldn't read those, so it's going to spell it out for me. So if you want to keep, like I was saying here in this, the flashcards right here, if you want to have that audio read them to you, you can do that. That might be helpful for some of you. So going back to my, oops, let me go back to my flippity cards. I'm going to turn the sound off here. This really, all it does is it randomizes your word list. This one lets you choose which side you want to be side one. So do you want side one to be side one, or do you want side two to be side one? And that basically just means that okay, so right now I have side two. If I filter through this, it's going to show my briefs first, which I prefer to have the words first, but you can do what you want. This one will reset it to your original order. And this one will yank the card out if you don't want it in there anymore. So down here, like you were watching, you can go back and forth to the words, or it will flip it from front to back. This one will flip it to the back, and then if I click it again, it's going to flip it to the next word. So I don't have to use all these three. I can just keep it here. So it's on pour. Now it's showing the back side, and now it's going to the next word. So here we are, just going through these. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now to the fun stuff. Let me just reset it. Okay, so this, if you click on this, it has a new feature that he added just for me, and that is autoplay controls. I click on this, and down here, this little box pops up. This represents how many seconds each side is going to show. So if I generally like it 3 seconds, and then so it'll show 3 seconds on this side, it'll flip it to the other side, show that for 3 seconds, and then move to the next card. So if I hit play, we'll watch that. There we go. Now it's flipping, and now it's going to go to the next card, protest, and now it's going to flip it over, and now you can practice these without taking your hands off the machine. Woohoo! I'm so excited. So the next thing, I'm going to stop that. The other thing I asked him to add was to be able to jump to another card. So he's like, okay, just hover over that bottom left, it'll happen. So it's not apparent. That's why I'm telling you, because he just added it. So now I'm going to jump to card number 20 and hit OK. And now I'm at card number 20. And so that makes, if you have a really huge list like me, it makes it awesome because now you don't have to, scroll to number 1000, card number 1000 by going like this a million times, right? So perfect. And so you can print your cards. And now I'm going to talk about spaced repetition. Spaced repetition, if you're not familiar with it, basically means that you assign a card whether you don't know the card, you kind of know it, or you really know it. So protest, let's pretend for this sake that I don't know how to write protest, so I'm going to give it a red arrow. Domestic, I kind of know, so I'm going to give it a yellow arrow. And welfare, oh man, I know that one really well, so I'm going to hit the green arrow. So I think this feature probably works on a smaller list. So if you're reviewing words over and over again, it's going to actually, once you assign them all a color, it's going to review the red and yellow ones far more often than it's going to review the green ones. So that way you're actually cycling through the ones that you really need to work on. So this, in a nutshell, is the program. I love it. It's simple. You're not, tempted to scroll through all your apps on your phone. And when you're sitting at your computer, you can quickly add to your list of words if you want. Refresh it and go over those cards. So I really hope this helps. And if you use it, you're welcome. Anyway, have a great day.